Let's go line number 4. Say good morning to a gentleman seeking the Liberal nomination out in Harbour, Maine, Rod Fowler. Morning, Rod. You're on the air.
Paddy, how are you this morning?
Top shelf today, you?
Reasonably good.
Good.
But I'm about to enter into a field that's sometimes scary to some people. But, I cannot sit back and watch any longer. I'm running because I'm not satisfied with how things are.
And what makes you think that you'll be satisfied by a Liberal government?
Well, my goodness, Paddy, look at the mess that seems to be happening everywhere. I don't want to put down the PC party, but they've demonstrated and have done things that I absolutely disagree with. I cannot sit down anymore. There's an awful lot of good people in the PC party and all over. So I'm not running like trying to put down or say that they're bad, because I'm running to represent everybody in that district. I just can't watch anymore. And, I don't have all the answers, but I sure as hell I want to know the answers and I want to ask the questions.
Give us some example of the mess that you're talking about.
Look, the biggest mess in Newfoundland's history and for all the life of my foreseeable future just happens to be called Muskrat Falls. Yours and my grandchildren will still be being pickpocketed to pay for it. So I want people in Newfoundland all over, not just Harbour Main District, to get interested in this deal, because if it, look, God love all the women. Ever driving with your wife and you believe you know where you're going, and she says, look, don't get lost, and you take a wrong turn, and you sort of don't listen, just tell her, well, hang on now, I'm going to get us out of it, and you just get further lost.
But isn't that exactly the Liberal position?
Is what?
Is that we're just going to continue on. We may indeed be headed down a road of disaster, but we're going to continue on. We're just going to manage the project better.
Well, hear me clearly, Paddy. I have no part in continuing staying lost. I'm going to ask my wife what she thinks, and I'm going to listen.
Yeah, but in this circumstance, your wife would be the leader of the party, Mr. Ball, and he says that the Liberal position is Muskrat Falls is an inevitable development. It will continue under, albeit maybe different regulations for oversight and transparency,
yes,
but it's going to continue anyway. So that doesn't add a lot of comfort to many people who are opposed to the project.
No, but listen, Mr. Ball will enter into, the Liberals will, in my opinion, form the next government, and Mr. Ball will not be a dictator in that government, and I will be one of the persons in there that I want to know the answers. I'm driven by logic. If it makes sense, let's do it. If it does not make sense, I will not support it. Now, one thing in particular, the district I'm running for will probably have an awful lot of people who do work into those areas, iron workers, boiler makers. They're famous for it. Mm-hmm. They took me under their wing when I worked out in Alberta, way beyond what I ever thought they would ever do. And so for me, it's bring back some payback to all of those people and everybody else. I don't believe Muskrat Falls is in our favor. For 30 or 40 years of my life, I've dreamed of the day when that could be developed. I called it the ace of spades that we always had. And we've entered into a deal now where the most powerful person in Newfoundland isn't even the Premier. It's the head of Nalcor. And we've given him the credit card, and he's going out and making deals like Jim Morgan earlier said. He's buying us a $20,000 car, but he's paying $100,000 for it. To the best of my knowledge so far, the facts will come out. So I've got to stop this. I can't have a fellow going out in that kind of a way. That's the biggest thing. It's the biggest expense we've ever taken on in history, and we won't have enough money or borrowing power to ever take on a bigger one again. I'll be dead before it happens. This is beyond. This is so big that I do want everybody to become very, very interested in it. It's not the only thing that's critical in Newfoundland. There's many things.
Yeah, of course there is. It's there's an awful lot of needs, and the interesting
Paddy,
part of the needs is how regional they are, and that's Paddy, where we have a hard time making things work for all.
Now, Paddy, God love your opinions and whatnot, but I'm going to take a few minutes to tell you mine.
Oh, sure, that's fine.
Yes.
I just shut up, actually, most of this conversation.
Yes, fine. And I'd appreciate a little bit. And I will talk to you many days, so I don't ever want to disturb you enough to hate me.
No, sure, I got no problem with you. I have great respect for anybody
anyway,
who has the courage to get involved.
This election is far too important to all Newfoundlanders. and I'll not sit back and watch. Things have to be said. And all the people in the Harbour Main District, I will deliver honest, sincere service as a candidate and as an MHA and as a friend. You know, I'm not intimidated by great, important people and you know, but I don't put them down either. But nobody intimidates me away. I would almost say I'm not afraid of anything, but that's not true. I'm afraid of big dogs, and I'm afraid of coyotes, and they're, you know, but when it comes to politics and stuff, I am afraid of some things, but I stand up and I march forward. If we go to war, if war comes in our province here, I will stand by any man or woman who wants to stand up and take care. I will not hide in the bushes.
Well, we can only hope that we all have the guts to stand up for what is right. What's your background, Rod?
Well, I worked out in Alberta in heavy industrial construction and whatnot.
Okay.
My background, I'm no hero. I haven't become a doctor or anything, you know.
No, me neither.
I don't have any pile of money, and I don't mean doctors are heroes or lawyers are heroes. So, some of those are just almost magic fellows. There is a hero from my district, and I will hope Mrs. Murphy will and Mr. Murphy forgive me, but I want to just mention Corporal Jamie Murphy, who went and fought his fight. I drove by the funeral home one day, and I could not pass by that home, and I went into Corporal Jamie Murphy's wake, and I had tears in my eyes. Mm-hmm. You know, his mom and dad are still here and gave up their son because he fought for Newfoundland and our freedoms and so many things.
But is that really what he did, though, as opposed to, I don't know.
He got up and
we're not fighting for our freedoms anymore.
He went where he was told.
Yeah, that's right. He followed orders, but it wasn't for our freedoms and rights or anything anymore.
Yes,
that's not what we're fighting about.
Because he was honorable and he did what he was told. He joined the forces.
Yeah,
he didn't know where they'd send him, and he's not here. So, you know, my heart goes out to those people, but just as much as he did, I have to stand up too. And I will fight for good things. And I'm not a rich man. I do work for a living, but, you know, my light bills and gas bills and everything stress me out as much as any. So you will not see big, gigantic, expensive parties. I can't do it. I'm like most people. I find a struggle to get from day to day.
Well, I think that's like the vast majority of people in the province, you know.
And I'm not satisfied, Paddy, to be out spending your tax dollars in a bad way.
Well, hope not.
If it means wasting another 10 billion following off in a wrong direction, I will help to stop it, reorganize it. It still is the ace of spades, but for God's sake, it has to be done properly.
Well, I mean, that's the trick here, you know. It's all fine and dandy to develop hydro. Appreciate your time this morning, Rod. Good luck.
Paddy, the next time I'd like to talk, and I don't want to hear too much. Give me a bit of time to talk.
No, that's not how it works. You carried about 85% of the airtime this morning, and I don't let anybody call and just say whatever they like. This is a conversation and or interview show, so if that suits your agenda, fine. If not, then you can call another program. That's okay, too.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah, no one can expect that. If you want to call, make a PSA, then you're best served for calling the sales department. And I gave him 85% of that airtime. We're going to have conversations here on the show. If that suits your political agenda, then you're more than welcome to call on a schedule that I can put up with and same to the listener. And if that doesn't suit you, well, then you'll have to call someone else.